Alrighty, so largely I'm turning this on just to be accountable to myself. So if other people are around, then awesome. I've got the chat window open somewhere, but it's hiding on me. So if people are around, it'd be lovely to hear from you. If I can find the right spot. And the aim of what I'm trying to do today, is to work on some Vue.js content. So is to work. Is that working? Oh. That's weird. Okay, well maybe my code editor's working, so I can put a to-do list over here. So I'm working on like best practices or building forms in Vue. And the idea is that I will build a form using the platform. So we'll look at things like a simple form, we'll look at conditional fields, we'll look at things like multi-step forms, at validation, error handling. What else we look at? And I guess submitting to an API. So I guess validation and error handling are probably largely the same thing, but yeah, kind of get the idea. And then I want to leverage like a tool that does some of the work. I guess it's like I'm kind of imagining there's like these sliders about so sort of the difference between doing the form entirely yourself and just like almost just HTML and almost just JavaScript just on your own, versus on the like a framework that does all of the work for us. Sort of thinking like yeah, you have components that just do all the validation, do all the error handling, do all the accessibility. Accessibility should be in here as well. Accessibility. And then a tool somewhere in the middle that does some of that lifting. So I'm going to use Vue.validate for that, which actually, as I've dug into it, is pretty fully featured. So it mightn't be the best example here. So I'll have a look as I go a bit longer in that. And effectively, I want to do the same thing and just see what the difference is now that we have Vue.validate. So we have Vue.validate. How's it different? And then I want to leverage sort of a full framework for forms, like a full form framework. And for that, I'm going to use FormKit, which is one possible solution. And again, I want to look at basically doing the same steps, but with FormKit instead of the other two. So that's sort of the plan. That's kind of where I'm hoping to go with this. I've just noticed that this is linking to my Twitter instead of my Blue Sky. Boo. I should fix that. If you are, I've only announced this in Blue Sky, so if you're here, it's from Blue Sky, so don't worry about it. So this is what we're going to do. I've already made a bit of a start with the no library. So I'm going to spin up an instance of this, open it here. Bother. My computer is being a bit silly at the moment. Yay. And I'll split this in half. Get rid of that. And just sort of fix up a few bits and pieces here. So initially, I guess, so what's the to-do? So the to-do, I think I've done largely, I've done lots of this for the simple form. So I think for today, I want to sort out styling, just check that that's okay, fix this landing page and nav, and then review the platform components, platform forms, It's a weird statement. Review the platform forms, and then dig into the vvalidate. All right. So first up is this here. So this is coming from app.vue. We're not using that anymore. Let's get rid of it. We're importing router link, router view. We're rendering router view here. Active is making that bold. That looks okay. But where's the green coming from? CSS. We're setting colors. Min height. This is presumably that sticks to the green, is it? It's indigo apparently, some kind of indigo. Okay. I don't mind the fonts really. I quite like that nav to be centered. I just want to check what's going on. So the app is setting the max width. We're setting the colors of the links. Here's where the color of the link is being set. This kind of greeny color. I don't mind it. It's got some kind of transition, presumably to the that little hover. Okay, it's not too bad. Don't mind that. I've never noticed app media hover before. I don't know what that's on, but okay. So let's center it. So header. Let's grab all of this and whack it in the CSS class down the bottom. So this is scoped. So because it's scoped, I feel very confident saying I'm just going to style headers with these things. It should be the same. I think I want the margin. If I was using Tailwind, I'd say margin or MX auto. But I'll do margin left auto and margin right auto. And see how if that centers it in the way I'm hoping it does. Auto. It's not fantastic. Love it. So why not fixed? Top is 0, width is 100%, Z index is there. I don't know why I need the Z index. Let's have a look at the styling. This is like not what I'm supposed to, not what I'm planning on doing, but I think it's probably important. Okay, so the header, maybe it should be the nav. Maybe it's the nav I should be doing this to. Nav is getting this class, margin left auto, margin right auto. Fixed position. What if I put it back on the header? Position's fixed. I'll display flex maybe, and then its children can be, and then do justify content center. Okay, probably. Okay, so now I've got a new library. So this is a simple form that I've built. So it takes a name, and if you don't put the name in, you get fix the error before submitting. A horrible alert window at the moment, so let's fix that. And sort of things out. So what do we got? We've got a form data which we're setting up to be reactive. So for people coming from React, this is pretty much equivalent to whatchamacallit? I'm used to it. So I'm effectively creating a reactive variable that will be kept track of. So when this updates, the view will potentially re-render. I then have errors, which is also reactive. I've got countries. I might just add. I'm in Northern Ireland here, so I'm going to add this in here. And then for UK, I'll put England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. Thanks, go at it. Got our validate field, and the reason I do that is when you get this drop down, you select the country, and then you can select the state. Although I would probably like this to say area, states in the context, and that's not quite right, but we'll see what's going on. We've got this validate field, which is checking, getting the value. If there's not the field, we'll say it's required. Otherwise, we'll delete the error from the field. So the only validation we're effectively doing is the field there in JavaScript. That's the only thing we're doing. So if I do this, the only thing we're doing is checking is the field there. And for this email, I think what I'm doing, if I'll go and check in the JavaScript, I think this is because I've said the email, I've said here is of type email, validate field email. So let's see what that does. Validate field email, validate field in general is here. Tick email, form data field, handle country change. Yeah, so that's just checking it's there. And I think the only reason I'm getting that little pop-up is because of the browser. So if I took away the type of email here, I don't think I'll get that error. Yeah, form submitted successfully. So just by setting the type equals email, I'm getting the benefit of the browser saying, "Oi, that's not an email." But my actual validation here is just checking requirement. But actually, there is a browser feature called required as well, which may just make that required. It may make that slightly better. So I get this from the JavaScript, from the HTML from the browser. It's telling me that please fill in the field. So I fill in the field from the browser. I'm getting it needs an @ sign. Although the browser's letting this pass as an email address, but oh well, it can't be wholly amazing. Otherwise, we could just use the browser, right? So I've got my countries, states for maybe I'll take the UK out because I don't like the states thing there much as well. Validation, which is literally just checking. So validate is just checking requirement if the field is empty or not. Handling country change. So if the country changes here, then I want to update the state variables. So if it changes to Canada, I want Canadian states. If it changes to US, I want American states. And if it changes to UK, I actually want this to say countries instead of states. So I might want to fix that. I do want to fix that because I'm feeling a bit annoyed about it. Let's say here we'll have a VF or VL. So VF form data dot country is UK. So it's UK, we'll say state, otherwise we'll have a VLs. This should say country. What does it say? Country. Alright, so now it says country. Yeah. Because it's weird. The UK is a country of countries, which is an odd thing. And again, I want to double do this one as well. So select everything else and stay the same. Select a country as the default option and VLs. So for UK, it says select a country. That's fine. For the Canada, it's going to select a state. Okay. So minor, but it's there. This form selector, I would quite like to fix the styling on that. So let's have a look. We've got radio button. I've done form group, radio button, and radio label, and radio. So let's see what I've got for this. I started to style this already. Input select. Radio button. Radio group should be display flex. Radio label should be display flex. Ugh. Let's have a quick look to see what's going on. So we've got our button here. A little bit of where's it's the gap of 10, I guess, at the bottom. Let's get rid of that for now. Move it back a bit. Where's the padding at the bottom come from? I'm not sure. So this is a radio label, radio group, display flex. What if I take that off? It's not doing anything. Take that off. Okay, that is doing something. Okay. Radio. Let's have a look. We've got radio buttons. So we've got this radio group. So I really want the radio group to be display flags. So it's going to have these, and then I want radio label. Where is the label? Where are labels? Oh, so it's just here. The label is inside. The input's inside the label. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to say radio group. Might just center it all off. Radio group. So let's do justify content center. Let's do radio label. I really want to wrap it in some way. So is display flex not working for that? Display flex. No, and I guess it's not working because the label and the input are actually part of the same element. And justify. What if it was align self center? Align self center? No. Okay. Well, I won't get stuck up in this, but that's the simple form. And then I have this multi-step form. So let's check out the multi-step form. Multi-step form. We take the name and email address, and then we select our country, and then we select. Then we get all of the data coming back on the other side. Okay, so that feels okay. We have our accessibility is being covered because we have for every form field we have a label which has a for label and it's matching the ID. So a screen reader when it's tabbing in will be able to see that. And for a multi-step form, is there an intention for those buttons set? Where are they? Probably at the bottom, aren't they? Type button. There's probably an ARIA label for this, isn't it? ARIA. Next. Okay, so that's I'll put that on my list. Over here. Okay, so I think styling is slightly better. Landing page is kind of better, and the nav is kind of there-ish. View to platform format, I think I'm kind of there, but there's one outstanding question which I have, which is there an ARIA label for other mechanism for like previous submit buttons, previous, next, submit buttons on forms, on multi-step forms. That has to be a solved problem somewhere, so I'll put that on my list of things to think about. So simple form, conditional form, multi-step form, validation, accessibility with that one more error handling, submitting to an API. So at the moment I think when I submit, this form has an @submit.prevent. So that's equivalent to doing our in React where you would do the prevent default. So you just do that, and then I'm triggering a handle submit event. So we're validating the fields, and at the moment we're just checking that they're all there. We're checking if it's separate. We'll alert the form as, ooh, I don't like that. So what I'd like to do, and what I'm going to do, is build a small backend that's going to accept these forms. So for now, we will we'll stick it to do. This is going to post form data to a server. All right. So that's our simple form. What about Vue validate? Which effectively, I want to take this simple form and think about how I can enhance it going forward. And I do. I realize if I'm going to keep things going, let's. Well, I was going to update the other data as well, but I won't just now. So what's this one? Okay, Vue validate. So I've installed Vue validate. I've installed Yup. I've set up my states. I've got my countries again. I'll add in the UK just because I'm a glutton for punishment. And I will put the UK in here. Add those ready to go. So we're handling the change states. So handle country change. because we're importing from Vue.validate 3 components: field, form, and error message, which are so we're not using the HTML browser platform directly. So we see what the difference that makes in a little bit. We've got this handle country change, and all it's going to do is states.value is find the value from the options, otherwise set it to an empty array. We've got our validation, so we're using yup for this, and we're saying for each of these, name is required, so it's a string, and it's required. For email, it's a string, it's email, and if that fails, it must be an invalid email. It's required, so email is required. It's subscription, so that's our checkboxes, which I realize we're not actually testing in the other things, so I should probably stick that on, because I think I added it in after. So add validation for the subscription field. So that's going to be, we need to do that. All right. Got this, we're checking that, fine. Then we've got handle submit, and again, we're just going to console log, but this is going to, we're going to handle this separately before. We're not having to validate directly here, that's all being handled. By the time it gets to handle submit, Vue.validate will have done the validation. All right, so let's have a look. So we're using the form component, we're taking an add submit. We're not having to do the .prevent because that's assumed. We're passing in the validation schema. We've got this v slot for the values, interesting, which I don't seem to be using. So let's, this may not be necessary. So question is v slot on the form component necessary? Come back and check that in a second. What else can we see? First of all, we should probably have a look at it. Fantastic. It looks like I started to fix something in here, line 87, and then got distracted. So yeah, let me get rid of the F here. That should hopefully fix that. Yeah. So this is validate. It looks almost identical, right? And actually I'd already done the center thing of Vue.validate. I was like, oh, I'm sure I did that before. Interesting, this is here automatically, so this should have the state selection. It should have a VF. That's probably what I was in the middle of doing before. It's because I don't know where. Is that true? So previously I was having direct control of the form data. Now the form data is being handled in the form, so how do I access the form data inside of the form? I don't know. Let's stick a pre-tag in and see if I can get access to values. And if I do that, aha! So if values.country is what state should do. So this should be VF values.country. Okay, so let's refresh this page. Okay, so it's gone. Select US. Okay, cool. Fantastic. That's that. That is that sorted. So we get access to the field values from the values prop, which is probably what this v slot's doing here, giving me an access to those values. So that might answer that other question. We're using the field component that comes with Vue.validate. We're saying we want it to be rendered as an input of type text and placeholders here, and we've got an error message with the name matching the ID. Label is staying the same, so accessibility is staying the same, so that's interesting. Error message then is going to be handled. So if I do something wrong, I get name is required, email is required, subscription is required, state is required, and all of those are coming from the yup validation. So we create the validation in yup, we're passing it into our form component. It's managing all of the reactivity and the state for the form that we're able to then use. Yeah, I think that's probably okay. Did I not save that when I got rid of the pre-value? I didn't. Okay, cool. So that kind of makes sense, I think, and get rid of this import from reactive because we're not using it. And that looks okay. And if I switch form to its multi-step with Vue.validate, and then let's have a look to see how we are doing this. Again, we're defining different schema validations schemas for each step. So in this step, we've got the name and email. Then we're going to have password and confirm password. We don't have this on the other form, but I thought it might be interesting just to show the comparison here. So it has to match. If it's not the ref of password, then it's going to have to match. Got our address. This saying postal code must be numeric, which is not actually true. I live in a country where that's not the case, so I'm just going to delete that match and have a think about if I do want a match object. And then terms, do you accept the terms? It must be true. Okay, so we've got that. I'm ready to go. We then have a schema which is reactive for the current step. So we're saying, hey, the current schema is computed based on if the step value changes. Its current step is a ref value up here. So again, a lot like useState, it's a single value that is going to be that's going to update the view as it changes. So this computed value will be updated. Our next step will check that we haven't gone past, otherwise it'll increment. If we click the next step and as the last step, that's equivalent to me clicking submit. So that's what's going on here. Previous step, we're going backwards. Okay. We've got our form component. The validation scheme is the current schema, which again is being computed. So that kind of makes sense. Going there. We've got personal details. Fine. Again, same type of thing. Email. So this is a template. And this template is only going to be rendered, so this is a template inside of a template, but this one will only be rendered if the current step is 0. This one will only be rendered if the current step is 1, and this will only be rendered if the current step is 2 and 3. Everything else is staying largely the same, and in our submit is staying largely the same. If I look at the multi-step form for without this, is that how am I doing it with interesting, I didn't do with templates here. I wonder if templates would be more idiomatic instead of using divs here. I mean, the benefit of a template is it won't be rendered to the DOM, so it's a bit like using a fragment in React, so it's a slight benefit there. I think if I swap that out to be a template here and go back to my multi-step form, I think that should be they are kind of equivalent, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to swap it out. I feel like wrapping this in a template rather than a div feels more idiomatic. Rather than having it as a div. Navigation buttons are fine. Okay, feel happy about that. All right, so I feel like the vvalidate is kind of in a good place. That feels good. I feel like I can simple forms the same, but we're swapping out the components. Conditional fields is the same, but the schema changes over time. And then, so yeah, running schema, and the schema is changing over time here. Conditional fields, yeah, that's our computed schema. So that's a nice thing to be able to, no, that's for multi-steps. Conditional fields, that's what we're using, that values prop that's being passed in. So that's cool to be able to look at. Multi-step fields, then we're multi-step form, we're looking at that. Validation, I think validation probably needs to come up, you know. I think validation and accessibility should come earlier. Like accessibility should be like right at the top. Yeah, let's bring accessibility and validation right up there. Error handling, I don't think error handling kind of makes sense in this context. Apart from maybe there was an error in submitting the form to the API. You can imagine some kind of error handling to that. I'll leave it in there. All right, so that leaves me with the form kit. And I don't know a lot about form kit, so I am going to simple form. That's not what I want in there anymore, actually. Yeah, I effectively want this, which is a little button that sort of basically I want for at the moment, if I just save it, it's going to make FormKit exactly like the other one, and I just want to be able to switch between the simple form and the multi-step form. I'm effectively, over the course of this course, building 6 forms, or the same 2 forms 3 different times as we go through. So this should be, so multi-steps will be fine. This time I'm going to have 2 new components, so it's going to be FormKit simple form.view. We'll just stick a template in here as a simple form in FormKit, and then I also want a save that. I also want a FormKit multi-step form .view, and oops, bring that over, and this is going to be multi-step form. Multi-step form. Cool. So back in the FormKit.view, these imports want to change. So simple form is actually coming from the FormKit simple form, and multi-step form is coming from the FormKit multi-step form. Okay, so it's pointing to the right bits. Let's do our migration. So let's just have a look-see at FormKit. So it's the open source form framework for Vue. It equips developers to build their forms 10 times faster. Whoa! Let's see. By simplifying form structure, generation, validation, theming, submission. Ooh, okay. I was kind of skating over submission in the others, but okay, this might be different. Error handling and more. Okay, cool. That sounds exciting. So we've got a single component. So that sounds similar to vValidate. It has a single component as well. Accessibility, validation, schema, styles, extensibility. Awesome. Cool. Alrighty. That looks nice. Right, so how do you get started? Installation. I presume it's just npm install FormKit/Vue. Okay, let's do that. npm install FormKit/Vue. Install wally. Cool, all installed. Righto. So got installed, fantastic. Your first form. Let's have a look. Basic props, set initial value, add validation, add a plugin, add submission. Okay, let's have a look. Our first input. So we'll have FormKit component. Oh, FormKit. By default, the FormKit component will use type text if no type is specified. The type is how we specify what input we want, and the input's okay, fine. However, we also have FormKit Pro, which I don't have. Has things like repeaters, tag lists. That's cool. Autocomplete. Ooh, that sounds cool. Name and ID. Okay, so what's the difference? So name. However, as we did not specify name and ID properties, or generated for name. So the name is used by the form and the group to collect value from, pass it down, and their children based on the name. What's the difference between the name and the ID? Is the one being used in JavaScript on the back end, or one being used in JavaScript and one being used for the label in HTML? Possibly. Props for accessibility. So a placeholder, help, your full name. Okay, nice. That's coming down here. Label, name, fantastic. Okay. Setting up an initial value. Ooh, that's a range. Okay. Adding validation. All in line. Interesting. So there's no need for a third-party library like we needed with vValidate. That was using the vValidate documentation. It's interesting that it needed that, but that's interesting. And adding a plugin. So what's the plugin? Plugin's cast number. So cast number is taking a node.hook.input value next. So the next is a number version of a value. Okay. Okay, I don't think I need that for this form, but it's interesting we can do those kinds of transformations. Deeper values based on another. We will have to do this for our conditional. We will change the character's default attributes based on the blah blah blah. So we'll need to fix that. So okay, let's see how we get on. So in our I'm gonna get this right at some point. All right. In our script tag, we'll do script setup align equals ts. Close our script tag up here. In our script tag, we will want to import FormKit. No, not from there. From FormKit slice view. FormKit like this, or something. I feel like the install was FormKit slice view like this. Do you not have a default export? Okay, import FormKit like this. Okay, so do I need to wrap it in a form? Let's see. So let's see if I've got a big form. So we've got FormKit. Okay, interesting. So the one component we give as a form. Interesting. Okay, so what's the best way to do this? I wonder if I bring over my simple form and let's just get it to work like and just swap things out for FormKit. I don't know. It feels like it might be a good place to start, and then I'll see how we get on. So I'll stick this here and wonder why it didn't refresh. I'll probably refresh because I'm not running a server. npm run dev. Apparently running servers is important when you want to be able to see stuff. Let's try again. FormKit. Okay, so this is going to probably be erroring because, all right, so we're going to new library. Oh no. Okay, FormKit. I'd be expecting this to error because of all my red squigglies, effectively. Okay, so let's go through and see how we do. So I think this should be FormKit type equals form and @submit. Oops, I saw it there. Type equals form and @submit equals whatever it should be. Okay, so type equals form and @submit. And again, I don't think I need the .prevent, and I will do that. It's called handle submit. So I should bring over all my JS from before, and then we'll work out what we can strip away at the end. Invalid end tag. Where's that happening? On line number. Brilliant. Doesn't tell me what line number. Fantastic. Let's see where that's happening. Probably here. This says FormKit, and I'm trying to replace form with this. If I go back to here we go. FormKit. Alrighty. So, although nothing's rendering, it's still doing something. So okay. So FormKit is there. Class form. See what's going on here. Blah blah blah. So I think I should be able just to replace all of this with a FormKit. So FormKit, and I should be able to. It's going to be self-closing. Say type equals input, label equals name, ID equals name. Oh, vmodel. I could do this directly. I don't know if this is the best way to do this, but I can update this if it's different. That's nice. If that renders, then that'd be even nicer. How about I comment out everything, and then hopefully I have something on the screen to see if I'm doing this right. The console shouting at me. Someone should be shouting at me. Here we go. What are you shouting? You're saying error E600. Fantastic. Unhandled error. FormKit type form on submit handle blah blah blah. Handle submit. Handle submit is there. Should it be doing something different? What's the crack? Error E600. Let me just refresh the page just to make sure that's the one I'm still getting back. Error E600. Okay, so let's have a look at the documentation. It says @submit, name of the function, create character. Oh, is it that it has to receive the fields? Is the problem? So my @submit doesn't receive the fields. So if I make it asynchronous and receive the fields, is that gonna let me off the hook? No. Did I invoke it? Type equals input. Oh, no, here. I'm here at submit. Scooby-Dooby-Doo. What's the crack, Jack? Form kit, type equals form, on submit function, handle submit. Not a very helpful error message, got an injection. Form kit options not found. Form kit options not found. That's interesting. And why not importing form kit anywhere? Am I doing this wrong? Right, there's no import here. Was I supposed to, in the installation, was I supposed to add something somewhere, magic? Oh, okay. Maybe I need to do this. I need to, hold on. So this is an existing project. I've done this. It would help if I read the instructions. So I need to add plugin and this to my, over here, to my, not app.vue, level above that main.ts. So I need to import plugin and default plugin. And it needs to, my app needs to use those. So right here, so app.use plugin and default config like this. I might need to restart my server after that. Okay, so we get a different error now. Hey, we get a different error. Different error always feels like it's a good thing, right? It feels like, hey, you're getting a different error, that means. And the error this time is about the field rather than the form. So if I just get rid of this field for now, then I'm hoping then this is going to render, and at least I'll see the form. Okay, cool. And I forgot to comment on all the other stuff. Alrighty, so we're getting somewhere-ish. We're getting somewhere-ish. Let's just comment out the rest of this. Refresh this. Why are you... Am I in the wrong... To understand why it's not being more... Is there something else I forgot to comment out? Of course there is, Kevin. Why wouldn't there be? It feels like if I did select all this and then comment, I feel like someone's trying to comment, but it's not working very well. Okay, I'm just going to delete it because I'm bored. And I'll just do it field by field. So let's do this. There you go. Alrighty. Submit is an automatically generated button. That's interesting. So by having a form, handle submit is here. So if I click on this, it's going to fix the error for submitting. Fantastic. Okay. So we have a form. Woo! I've set it properly. Let's just make sure I didn't miss anything else in the constructions. Configuration, theming, blah. I should probably do some of this. I was using Tailwind. I've decided just to use straight HTML for this, and straight CSS, and not use Tailwind for this course, but yeah, I might be convinced otherwise. Okay, so that feels like I've got that ready to go. Now let's just get the first field. Your first form. Blah, 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 blah. Right, effectively, I want one of these. Let's go and grab this jobby. Stick it over here. Okay, I think I said type equals input last time, and they're like, oh, you mean text, Kevin? They're all inputs. Like, okay. ID is name, label is name, help is full name. Now, this is suggesting I don't need to. Oh, my watch sounds need to stand up. This is suggesting I don't need to. What? Oh, I don't need to put in a label. I think I knew that bit already, but I don't need to. I keep repeating that same sentence. Oh, do the V model. So that must mean that again I've got access to the values somewhere. I think that must be with the default equals. I think I saw this. I saw this somewhere. Default equals value, because I'll need to be able to get access to that later on. Yeah, I think this is what I want. I think this gives me access to, I could be wrong. I'll probably need to read the instructions. But I think if I do value here, if I type in here, hello, yes, okay, cool. Right, that is what I was expecting it to be. Fantastic. So that's similar to, that's very similar to, what's it very similar to, Kevin? It's very similar to vvalidate. I also want to do the validation, so I think put this on one line. So if I do validation and say required, and yeah, your full name is required. Oh, nice. That's from the help. We're getting your full name. Okay. Okay, so I refresh the page, your full name. Oh, is this always going to appear, this help text? Interesting. I'm not sure how I feel about that. If I leave that out, so that your name is required. Okay. And is there a custom validation message I can put in? I wonder. Custom validation, adding a plugin, adding validation, validation visibility live. Probably you can win the validation whether immediately when the user blurs or on form submit. It's all kind of okay. That's fine. Min max is there. So validation. Okay, cool. Right. Let's do the rest of our simple forms. So we had name, email. So I guess the same thing, but we'll change the name to be email. We'll change the ID to be email. We'll change the label to be email, and we'll change the placeholder just to be john@domo.com. It's going to be required, and I think I can pipe this to say email like this. So if I submit, email is required. Please enter a valid email address. And is this, nice. .com. Okay, that's actually a better email validator than the browser's one, so that's cool. Alrighty, so we've got our mail and email. Next thing I wanted was this checkbox, or rather radio buttons. So how does FormKit handle radio buttons? Radio, video, kill the radio, start. So vmodel on value. Type is radio, options are there. Yeah. Okay. So FormKit, type is radio. We want to vmodel on value. So I presume it's up there. So yeah, so we want to change that. Name is subscription, label is subscription, options are basic and pro, and I can add a third one in to be enterprise. And required is true. So you're saying vmodel cannot be used on v4 or vslot components because they are not writable. Interesting. I just took that from the instructions. Just did what I was told. Just did what I was told, guy. Ooh, styling list is going to be interesting. These are LIs with these look like they are LIs with labels and label and a span that contains the input. Oh, yuck. Okay, I'm hoping that it claims to make theming easy, so I'm hoping that's definitely true. And just to check, if I whack the value up here again, and if I click on basic, does it tell me? Oh, it's not telling me that. Oh, I forget to save it. Nah, I think I forgot to save this. Let's try again. Okay, it is working. Okay, basic, pro, and enterprise, fine. I think I own basic. What did I have in the last one? Basic and premium. So let's just do the same. Basic and premium. Oh, it's quite like this is quite a. If I can fix the styling version of this, then I think I quite like this one. Okay. Oh, no, I quite like this box. Ooh, I might want to try to reproduce that styling on the other forms. No, I quite like that. If only I can fix the radio options. Okay. Then what else did we have after that? We had the country malarkey. So I could try to do it in the same way. Chains handle country chains. That sounds good to me. And then here. And then can I VF this? VF value.country. No? Why are you shouting at me there? It's possibly undefined. Question mark country? Doesn't seem to be doing the trick. Oh, because that's set to be country. So if I just really refresh this? No. I should have a default option. Does that do default? What am I looking for? Options. Select. What do I set? Here I want placeholder. Is it just with placeholder? Oh, interesting. Key values for the options, validation. Okay, we just is there. So maybe that I just have to put placeholder in here for this to work. So I do placeholder, please select a country. Brill. And then when I do select one of these, it goes there. I quite like that that's a placeholder rather than a default option. I wonder if that should change the others. I find it weird. So this state isn't updating, so that's interesting. So the options is bound to states. Handle country change, handle country state change, states.value equals states options. Where's state options there? Why are you shouting at me? Oh, because it's not form data anymore. I wonder if I can stick in country here, which is going to be a string. And then we can put that there. Why are you complaining? It should be a string. Element has any type, because type can be used to type extract. Okay, so I could say keys of keys. It's going to be the keys. There's a TypeScript helper method that should allow me to get the keys of the state options. Type of state options, but this is the wrong one. For now, I'll just do, for now I'll just be lazy. I'll say USA, Canada, and UK. That's one of those three. States.value. Yeah, that should be okay. Why are you complaining? States, why would that be never? That's weird. Okay, okay, I'm gonna cheat. Just type. I should be able to fix this type. Set this to any. As country should be a string. No, it should be. What is the TypeScript? Let me go back and do this. What's the TypeScript helper or utility methods? What is it? Is it keys of record, pick, commit, exclude, return type? Not really. Key of. I feel like it should be. I feel like it should be. I think key of might just be the job, you know. I mentioned key of earlier. So if I set this to key of what? The state options. Why are you complaining? Because state options isn't the type? Yeah. So the key of the type of the state options. Okay. So I have the benefit that it's going to stay updated. I don't need this validate method, so you can go away and stop complaining about my types over here. I don't need any of this validation happening because it's all going to happen internally. I don't know why that's not never. For now, let's see if it works actually. So if I do Canada, no, it's not working. Okay, let's, because I'm not passing in the value. value just so I can see what the crack is. So console log country. Don't know if that's a single value or all the values or something else. There's probably, ooh, yuck. So if I do this, I get a proxy object and it does say Canada. That is interesting. That is interesting. So this should be country dot value. No, value of. No, current. No. Let me do it again. So I set this. I get a proxy object. The proxy object is here. That's fine. Target dot country. Oh. It's not as simple as that. It's not value dot country, is it? It is. Okay, fine. So if I select Canada, I get the Canadian states, fine. So I've done that form now. Okay. So that's the basic form done. So we can get rid of the reactive data. We don't need this anymore. That's all being handled in terms of getting errors. The only thing we really need to handle manually is the static data for the multi dropdown. And we'll work out our handle submit in a little bit. Does look nice, doesn't it? There's definitely a lot less. There's definitely a lot less guff. But what I don't have is styling. I mean, already it looks better than the basic styling for sure. And to be fair, it probably looks better than my styling. How do I style it, I guess? I think it said it was themable, so styling. The ability to modify class and HTML provide many ways to style your own. Brilliant, show me how. Tell me how I need to style my form. I don't want to do use Tailwind because I'm lazy. Using CLI, I would do that, blah. Installing Genesis, don't do that. Oh, excuse me. Custom classes. Most users want to apply their own style classes, provide a markup. Form can provide numerous methods to apply root classes, appending classes. Oh. Okay. So is this as easy? So let me bring over my styling from before. So bring my styling over from before, and so I think I just said there's something called outer class. No, sure it said outer class. Outer dice class. Okay, let's say outer dice class. Oops. Equals form container or class equals form container. Okay, let's inspect DWICD. We've got our body, we've got our app. Inside of our app, we've got our data. We have another data here. We have our button there. It's fine. And we've got this form outer, form kit outer, form kit form. Oh, well, could I just like steal their classes? So could I change my form container to be form kit form? H1 should be the same. Form. I think I need to do that. Subscription. See, I quite like their styling here. That submit button could do with a bit of a dot submit button. What are you calling that? Do you have a class? Doesn't have a special class. I'm kind of loath to, I mean, I can see I could direct it with input 7. And that's going to probably do what I want it to do. But obviously if I add more, that feels like it's dynamically generated. And if I add more things in here, submit 4, it feels like yeah, I don't know how confident I can be that that's going to stay the same, and that's name equals submit 4. So could I do form kit input where type is submit? That quotes. No. Or type equals submit? Yeah. I think that's probably fine. I get a bit of margin top as well. Margin top. Select country. Okay. It's not a thing of beauty. These radio fields could really be nicer. Can I do? Let me inspect this. Yeah. So this UL form. Oh, form kit options. Form kit options. Nice. I can do form kit options. Form kit options. Beautiful. And I can do like LIs inside of that should have list style none. Fantastic. And what? It's not bad. It's not too bad. Okay, I think I might say that one's done for now. I'll point out in the course that if you want to do more extensive styling, then you could probably use Tailwind and Themeless probably better than I'm doing with direct classes. For a simple form like this, I think it's okay. Let's just check. There's nothing in the JavaScript. This handle submit is doing. It's very good. I like this. Although I would like those to be in red and not to be so errors are actually, so I'd like that to be a form kit message of type equal to validation. I think that's a mix. Nope, that did not work. That did not work. Form kit message type of valid. Oh, sorry, it's data message type. Oops. This would be data message type. Should be validation. Yeah. And list style to be none. Sorry, all fields are not filled out correctly. And so that's interesting. That's form kit data message type UI. Interesting. Can I do have to repeat it, or can I do an or here? Don't know if I can do that. No, I don't think I can. So I think I need someone who's better at CSS than me to do this for me. Nope. There's a comma to say like both of those. Yeah, I think that's probably okay. All right. So I've got my no library, simple form, and multi-step form. I've got my vValidate simple form and multi-step form. And I have my form kit simple form, but not my multi-step form yet. So I'm going to get this multi-step form. So do you have an example of a multi-step form? Multi-step input plugin. I don't want an input plugin. Build a multi-step form. So create a basic break the form into sections, track the validity of each step. Yeah, that's what I want to happen. So break the form into sections. Of type group. Becomes valid within itself. Star label. Why is there a star? Oh, because it's required. Okay, fine. I think I know what I'm doing. So we've got form kit form. We're saying now you're putting the steps at the top. I'm presumably putting a click on them. Yeah, a click step equals step name. Okay. And then how are you deciding down here? Name equals blah, form group. How do you know? Oh, right here, we're doing a V show. I'm using sections. I'm going to use templates because I'm cool like that. Okay. So I think I can take my multi-step form and largely just copy it over here to my form kit multi-step form. And for the moment, I'm just going to paste it all in. Okay, so form kit multi-step form. So let's just call it, make sure that we're in the right place. In form kit, Fantasmo, Fantastico. Right. So I want to import form kit from at view form kit / view, and then I want to start swapping stuff out. So this should be form kit type equals form and at submit equals prevent. We'll probably want the default equals value just so we've got access to that later on. Yeah, like this. Current step equals 1, current step equals 2. Yeah, that sounds about right. Template v current step. Okay, it's going to stay the same. But here, instead of this, instead of name and blah, we're just going to do, this should be a group. This is form kit type equals group, I think. And that helps to keep the validation in one. Helps keep the validation together. Invalid something or other. So this should be name. We'll see what I've broken in a second. Form kit should be of type text. Labels should be name. ID should be name. I can't remember what else is needed here. Where have I broken? What's been broken down here? This would be closing form kit, like so. Okay. Oh, interesting. Next, emails required. Next. Okay. So what we got going on here? We're saying, where's the button? Where's that next button being shown? Oh, is that state being handled internally? That's pretty cool. No way. Next step. Oh no, that has to be this, right? And then we click on add to next step. So next step equals, oh yeah, I don't want to validate current step. Next step equals current step plus 1. Let's just see if that works. Yeah, okay, cool. So that's not happening out there. And then select submit. What's happening with that submit button? That's weird. If the current step equals the total steps. interesting. Total steps equals 3. Current step equals 1. So why is this showing? I don't know. Okay. I'll come for you later. What have I done wrong? Okay, form kit from the name. Let's go form kit simple form. Let's find name. Actually, let's grab both of these because we can just use them directly, I think. Name and don't need to do any of that jazz. So just do that. Sweet. Next, we've got our country jazz. So we go to country. Countries and our states, brill. So this needs to be inside this template, fine. Location details, fine. So we're swapping this out for this, and we're whacking this in a form kit type group. Closing out the form kit here, and this should work. Handle country change value country, handle country change country, and country. Get rid of this, get rid of that. Next. Nope. What do I do with handle country change over here? Handle country change states dot value. Where's states? Unexpected token in the baggage area. Where? Key of state options. Where's the problem? Get rid of that. What are you moaning about? Somewhere here? What's the crack? Unexpected token in ESLint. Country change. Country, which is the type of blah. Don't know why you're complaining, do-da. Don't know why you're complaining, do-da day. Right, what are you saying? Take the country. Refresh. Partner expected token colon. You have a colon right there, man. Blop, 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 blop. How is this different? Oh, is there something from the previous line that deletes them? No. We can't get rid of this. Let's go. Oh, I know why. I'm being silly. I haven't said this is TypeScript. Silly Kevin. Okay. Multi-step form over here. Okay, so we're getting somewhere. What's our console say? We forgot to put the placeholder in. Oh, there's a placeholder there. Type select, placeholder equals blah. Country equals countries, handle country change value dot country. Handle country change value dot country. If we console.log country here, what do we get? Fantastic. We get bricky. Let's try again. In our complex form, we're over here. Undefined. Is that because this default value thing has to be in the form group like this? Yeah, fantastic. Okay, so let's do it again. Switch form. We get to here. Please select a country. Select a country. Fantastic. Okay, cool. That's interesting. So this value, so that has to be at the point of thingy. Ah, and now, ooh, yuck. How do I get access to this data then? Oh, I think. It's not just value, is it? So this is the value. So how can I get access to the whole of the form data? How can I get access to the whole of the form data? You are putting it down there. Interesting. That's exactly what I want to happen. So you're saying default values here. Okay, interesting. I should think. So I think what I want to do is say leave the default value up there, then give each of the steps a name. So you see here ID and name. So if I give each of the steps an ID and a name, so this is ID equals details and name equals details. Where's our next group? This one. Go to list. Say ID equals country. Name equals country. So I think if I go and do this, that should break now. Because country is the whole thing. I need country.country in order for that to work. And here I'm just going to say it's definitely going to be there. Actually, if I question mark it, then it doesn't stop shouting at me. So if I do this, we get that working. I do that. Okay. If I do next here, why do I not have access to any of the values here? So value.details.name should surely be, is that, it's inside a form. I have to put it inside of a form group in order to access the details. Form kit, type equals group, ID is confirmation. And then bring on value inside here just so we can see it. Cannot read properties name. Brilliant, to broke it. Simple form. Well, let's go here and here. Next, set to country. Awesome. Next. Okay. What's the crack, Jack? Let's get rid of it here. Aha! That seems to have made a dent. Oh. So why can I? It's interesting. Can they do something very similar here? They just say value at the point where I was saying it. Really, outside of the form kit sections. So that should. So let me get rid of this again. Invalid end tag. Where did I have broken something? Form kit. Broke it. It broke it. Let's be here. Form kit. Okay, so and that shouldn't have a beautiful switch form. personal details there, and there, there, dirt, there, there, there. Okay, so why is value not rendering there? Is it because it's in a template? Is it because it's in a template? Oh, I don't know. Okay, so where are we up for questions? So that's probably the last of my to-do list. I think it is. So multi-step forms is the only thing I think that we have left to do on our form kit. The rest seems okay. When I think about submitting the APIs for both of them, I think we're there. Alrighty, I don't think anyone came to join me. That's cool. That's been me. And I will be back on again at some other time.